Hello, I'm Dr. Jim Wright, and today we have Captain Bill Hall, who's probably the best surf fisherman I've ever met. I know he's won distant surf casting contests. Bill was a past Virginia Saltwater Angler of the Year, and another time he was a Release Angler of the Year. Bill, tell me something. When you come out on a surf on a beach like this, what is the first thing that you look for when you decide at what location you're going to set up to start your fishing?
Well, Jim, the first thing we do is we survey the actual water surface looking for anything different. Surf fishing is not any different than offshore fishing or freshwater fishing. Fish orient around structure. And if we have a flat beach, we want to look for anything that's different than the surrounding areas. It might be breaking waves, it might be a smooth spot, it might be slick water, it might be breaking water, but anything that stands out that's different from anywhere else tends to attract and hold fish and bait.
Bill, what's your favorite season to fish?
I think most surf fishermen will agree that the autumn season is probably the best time of the year to surf fish. The temperatures start to cool up and the fish seem to get hungrier, they get more of a feeding frenzy because they're trying to fatten up for their winter migration, and the fish seem to be more aggressive and a larger amount of fish in the surf at that time.
Bill, there aren't any tackle shops out on the beach. How do you decide what's going to be the essential tackle that you take with you?
Well, you're right, Jim. Unless you're fortunate enough to fish on the Outer Banks or some location where you can actually drive a vehicle on the beach, you're limited to what you can carry. And for most people, most hardcore surf fishermen, a 5-gallon bucket is the all-purpose vehicle for transporting tackle. As a rule, with the exception of my rods, reels, and little bait cooler, everything that I take, I fit into a 5-gallon bucket. For example, I've got mine with me right now. Since we're getting ready to do a little fishing, I'll show you exactly what I bring when I go surf fishing. Okay, basically all the equipment and tackle that I need, I'm able to fit into this bucket right here. And this is just an example of an actual bucket that I'm getting ready to use for this outing. And we're just going to cover the basic necessities, and I'll give you a good idea of what you should be carrying. First, protection from the sun is always paramount. We hear all this about skin cancer, and I've lost some good fishing buddies of mine to skin cancer, so we're always conscious of protection from the sun. So one thing I have is a hat to keep the sun out of my eyes and to give me a little bit of shade, and some sunscreen, a small container of sunscreen I use for my face and my hands. Any exposed skin really should be protected. We keep very few fish for surf fishing, so we want to be able to document all of our outstanding catches. So I have a camera, a waterproof camera, and the new disposable waterproof cameras are ideal for surf fishing. We have a tape measure where we can actually record the length of our fish, so when we're bragging about how big a fish we catch, we can actually document how large or how long the fish was. Basic things such as a knife, a fillet knife used for cutting your bait. I have backup spools of line in case we have break-offs, and these drink huggies are ideal for protecting your typical quarter spool of line. We can re-spool a reel, we can carry leader material, protect it from the sand and from the moisture. This is just nothing but a drink coolie. We have extra leader material. This is 30-pound leader material. It's actually just mono that we use for shock leaders. And we have an assortment of baits and rigs. A hand gaff for extra large fish that we're pulling up through the surf. A pair of cutters. An assortment of tackle. Way up here we have extra hooks, we have extra 2-hook bottom rigs, we have bluefish rigs, extra hooks, an assortment of hooks in different sizes and different styles. We'll get into that later. We have some of our bluefish lures, Spanish mackerel lures. We want to be prepared for whatever opportunity the waters provide us. And we have a variety of sinkers. We have our typical round bank sinkers, and these actually move in the water as the wave action and currents strike them. They'll actually roll on the bottom, which is good for fish that lie in ambush, such as flounder. We have our typical pyramid sinkers, which have extra holding power compared to the same weight of the bank sinker. And then we have a special modified pyramid sinker called a hurricane sinker, and it incorporates the best of both worlds. You have the triangular head, which digs into the sand, and a round bottom, which keeps it anchored. And we have those that you can see in a wide range of sizes, because we just do not know what size we're going to need till we get out there, depending on the tide, the current, and actually the moon phase, because you get higher, stronger currents on a full moon or a new moon. You're really not going to know what you're going to get there. So one of the things that I want to emphasize, if you're fishing in an area that's new to you, that you don't have any experience with, visit the closest tackle shop, and they can usually provide you with a good idea of what kind of fish you're looking for and what kind of conditions you're going to find. Okay, let's go fishing.
What do you got? Is it a drum?
Yes, we do. 2 big channel bass in one single trip is actually really awesome. But when they come through in big schools.
Good job. Put it in the holder. Put it around the holder.